Guys, we did it. We're on the final PowerPoint of Japan. So what we've done is we've combined chapter 15 and 16 in this lesson, which is a lot of content. There's about 40 slides, so I'm going to be really as quick as I can with this. You can pause, you can rewatch this video. I'm just going to go through all the slides with you. Feel free to follow along on another screen, but we're just gonna hammer it through. So here we go. Meiji Japan. Japan changes direction during the Meiji era, 1868 to 1912, with Commodore Matthew Perry, who we're going to talk about here. Commodore Matthew Perry opens up Japan to Western trade. What did the U.S. want? Remember, we had them kind of invading. We had the question last week about can they or can they not. The U.S. wanted coaling stations, more trading partners, and a haven for shipwrecked sailors. Perry's black ships. Okay, there's a nice picture for you there. The Treaty of Kanagawa. There you go. 1854. The Treaty of Kanagawa, 1854. The treaty opened 2 Japanese ports to American ships. They established an American consulate in Japan and accepted the demands regarding shipwrecked sailors and coal. In 1858, a commercial treaty gave further trading insights to the U.S. was signed. The same year, Japan signed similar treaties with England, France, Netherlands, and Russia. Many Japanese were unhappy with these treaties as they viewed them as losing control over their trade. In social studies, we talk a lot about treaties, right? These are deals with other people that then give you something and give them something, ideally. There's a lot of controversy around treaties, right? So many Japanese were like, why are we signing treaties with all these people? We were isolated. We were happy. We don't need this stuff. So it was interesting. And what they were doing was trying to sign treaties that would keep peace, right? Because believe it or not, most people don't want to go to war. Okay, pressures from within though. There were many tensions and stresses in Japanese society by the time that Perry and his black ships arrived. There was a loss of respect for the shogunate, an uprising against the inefficiency of corruption of its officials, and the arrival of the Americans did not help those two things. There were 3 different positions on what was supposed to be done here. Okay, so there are 3 different ways that they could have handled this. Honor the emperor, expel the barbarians. The central idea was Japan is the divine land. The Japanese are superior to the Westerners. Solutions: war against the Westerners, continued isolation. Okay, continued isolation, easier said than done, right? People are coming in. Second one, Eastern ethics and Western science. The idea behind this one was to adopt the Western technology, particularly military equipment, but keep Japanese values and morals. So adopt some elements of Western civilization. But at the same time, if I said, all right, we're going to do social studies only through simulations. We're only going to simulate stuff. We're not going to do any notes. Okay, maybe we'll do a little bit of notes. Okay, maybe we'll do a little bit of simulations and a little bit of notes. Okay, maybe we won't do many simulations and we'll just do notes. Let's just do notes. Do you see how if you introduce something new, people always want a little bit of the old still? It's very hard to keep things consistent that way. And what do we remember about Japanese society? They liked consistency. Third one, civilization and enlightenment. Central idea, overseas trade is necessary to increase wealth in Japan. Change is inevitable. Solutions, welcome the Americans and Europeans and trade with them. This is at a risk of losing all of that wonderful history and tradition. But at the same time, if you welcome them, is there going to be as many war problems and stuff? Okay, so those are the 3. The Meiji Revolt. A powerful group of samurai overthrow the shogun. Sakamoto Ryoma, the hero, he helped Japan emerge from feudalism into a unified modern state. Okay, the shogunate is then overthrown. The last shogun was Tokugawa Yoshinobu. There's a picture of him. And the emperor is restored to power. So this means now the pyramid we talked about, shogunate doesn't have the main power anymore. We've been given it back to the emperor, which makes more sense to us who know how society works right now. New ideas about government. The Meiji leaders began their program to reform, and they had 2 goals, okay? To create a strong central government that could unite the country and rule it effectively, right? It's important to have unity. And 2, to create a form of government closer to the democracies of the West. So again, if you're going to trade with these people, you got to have some similarities, because if you're welcoming them into your land, there's got to be some similarities there. The 5 Charter Oath. This is a list of stuff, the aims of the new Japanese society. So a deliberate assembly shall be widely established and all matters decided by public discussion. So now it's not just one person making all the decisions. There's going to be a discussion with the public. democracy. All classes, high and low, shall unite and vigorously carry out the administration of the affairs of the state. So again, unity is back. Okay, the common people, no less than the civil and military officials, shall each be allowed to pursue their own calling so that there may be no discontent. So you get a bit of freedom to do whatever you want, no discontent. Evil customs of the past shall be broken off, and everything based upon the just laws of nature. So, evil customs of the past. We're deciding what's evil and what's good. And some people who are traditionalists are going to have problems with that. But again, it's interesting. Knowledge shall be sought throughout the world so as to strengthen the foundations of imperial rule. So instead of hiding the knowledge, they're saying go out and get it. Not just one person will know this anymore. Remember in past notes, the shogunate would have, he'd take all the Western learnings and keep it to himself. Again, now we're saying everyone can learn. So, question to you, does the 5 Charter Oath call back to anything, principles or ideas that we've learned so far this year? So, does this sound similar to anything? Hopefully you're thinking back going, yeah, it does. Okay. Losing power. In order to increase power of the emperor and the government, the Meiji leaders encouraged the daimyo to turn over their land to the government. The samurai system was also abolished. At first, the samurai were given tax-free incomes, but it soon became apparent that the samurai had to get jobs. The Japanese feudal system officially came to an end with this, right? So slowly breaking it all down. Anytime a company wants to do any reform, they slowly break it down. For instance, Walmart. If we're comparing Japan to Walmart, Walmart's pulling all of their oil services, oil change, tire change services, Mr. Lubes, they're pulling it all. They're slowly getting rid of stuff so they can save money. It's an interesting change, but hey, they're doing it, and that's one way to do it, I guess. European goods. Europe began to loom large in the thinking of many Japanese. The new slogan was Western science, Japanese essence. So the Japanese became obsessed with Western styles. So if you look at these pictures and paintings, there's like the old styles and the new styles, and it's pretty neat. Everything Western was now fashionable. So if you, is it Western? Is your fashion Western? Oh, where'd you get that? Right? It became a trend. Japanese soldiers with their wives, there's some paintings there. Again, they're looking very Western. Right? You still see the influences. There's cherry blossoms on the dresses and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they're starting to look they're looking very Western. The ruler set the tone though with the Western dress. So there's the emperor and empress. Really, they look very similar to other cultures, European cultures that we've studied, right? The march of Westernization. Japan began to adopt Western ways and ideas. They wanted to win respect for Japan by showing that it was a modern, civilized country. So rather than, again, war and go crazy, what if we unite and we adopt each other's things? Sounds good. Newspapers urged citizens, though, to adopt the new and improved ideas. So if I said, all right, guys, let's adopt brand new ideas. Forget what you knew before. It's not cool to do your past. Are you all happy? Okay. Cultural changes. Westerners of the mid-1800s who came to Japan were often not tolerant of Japanese customs, though. So Japanese officials outlawed behavior that was offensive to foreigners. Now you can't practice your historical thoughts and ideas with visitors in your own home.